Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
This is Apothecary Diaries, Season 1, Episode 16. Mm-hmm. It's been like a week since we watched last, or so.
Yeah-ish.
Let's check it out. Leave a like and subscribe. Very excited to see what happens next. Hope you enjoy. Patreon has uncuts. Check the pinned comment for if there is one to see how many, or just go to Patreon and see how many uncuts you can get ahead. Probably a lot. Maybe the rest of Season 1. I don't know. We'll see by going to patreon.com/BOLDcast. Hope you enjoy. Let's go.
We've already seen like a majority of these now.
I wonder if that means we're gonna get into like a longer, short, like few episodes.
Or if we'll get like a version 2 of the OP halfway through, and then they'll like change some of those scenes.
Was it 3 sons, or I thought it was 3 children?
Just like a... It's not a murder mystery, but like a... Does the fishbowl have a secret compartment with the...
Sounds like the 3 little pigs or something. A shack. One got the shack, one got the furniture, and the other got a fishbowl. This guy again. Why does he hate her? He's got the shungite rocks. Put them around La Casa. They mess with 5G signals. I think there might be a miscommunication. Is that really the 3rd son?
Hey, did you guys try and open this box? And it is illuminating directly something on the chest. Oh, probably the fishbowl. Oh, can we put the fishbowl back and like will it project something onto the back of that chest? Because you're all supposed to work together. Yeah, it's a square bottom.
It's gonna like shine something on the whole room at a certain time of day.
You had to leave mysterious clues so they would be forced to work together.
They all have a seat position, which means when the bowl's placed there, it's gonna say something, maybe having to do with that. That's what I was thinking too.
He put the chest there weirdly and bolted it to the ground.
That's why the metal looks different.
Yes, he is wearing the same outfit.
Yes. Someone needs to do an edit of this show and put the L theme on moments like this.
I need to fill it with water. Get used to it. I want a fishbowl like that. Whoa! It's gonna burn you. Is it
Gonna go right in there.
Something in there?
It's gonna heat up
Oh
the
my
lock.
Lord.
I wonder what was in there. Some fucking tannerite. Blow that bitch up. C4.
Half of these guys just are like not even conscious of what's happening. It's like, shut up.
It really is like a Three Little Pigs or like shit like that. Like stories. Proverbs. Sorry, what?
Well, it's some type of poisoning. He had lead poisoning.
Yeah, that's the title. The title is lead.
Oh.
Spoilers title. Are you sure he wasn't working with rhododendron metal?
Ooh.
This song is epic.
Holy.
No way.
That's
This guy is a
insane.
genius.
Yeah.
We may have lost someone really special.
3 different types of...
Bluish crystal. What's those marks on his hand? Burns, maybe? Maybe he's the real student?
Figure it out.
Yeah, it's like metallurgy. He's like pioneering metallurgy.
Yeah, that melts at like a incredibly low temperature. Oh, the amounts.
Maybe you do.
No, the youngest son's gonna figure it out. Those guys are gonna fuck off.
Don't tell them.
Don't tell them. Let them go.
Fuck
They
'em.
suck. I guess it's like when the 3 things work together, it's better, so.
2 lead and 1 tin. They're the lead and he's the tin.
No, it's a lead tin and something else.
お前は俺たちと違う。チャン兄さんはいつも冷静で、も正確にこなす。ミスがないから何だって任せられるって。兄さんは人の心をつかむのが。
We're just learning their names like 17 minutes into this video, and I'm getting really emotional just hearing this part.
同じように見ていた。少なくとも僕はそう思う。失礼。あ、すみません。関係ないことだ。
That's what you think. You're about to have a rude awakening, young mistress.
おい。
花町の六章館という棚に両面という薬師がいます。技術の腕も確か体調が悪いようであれば訪ねてみてください。
Do not poison yourself.
She did that last time, spreading the name of her dad to people who might need his services.
とでも言いますか。長男は売上の管理、次男は販路の開拓、別の方面から家業を支えることにしたそうです。
Very nice.
まあ要するに適材適所に落ち着いたということですな。
何があったかはわからない。きっとあのクス氏の娘は知ってて黙っているだろう。
娘は素晴らしかった。あれは単なる火難でしたが、最後にあの細工を生えるでしょうな。
そうですね。いやらしい男だ。本来私の立場に細具など関係ないと分かっているだろうに。そんな所
いや何、埋もれた才能をそのままにしておくのはもったいないと思い、弟な
Now I know who he sounds like.
才能があるなら目をかけてやるべきだろうとね。
知りある。ラカンはうさんくさい男だが、人の才能を見抜く目は確かだ。その采配によって現在の地位に上り詰めたという。ところで前の話の続きを聞きたいのですが。
Oh yeah.
の話と言いますと、
Oh my god. You know what story you...
妓女の話ですよ。
ああ、妓女の希少価値を下げる方法ですか。
You get her pregnant?
その世界を知る者に方が早い。いやいや、もう時間ですね。部下に怒られる。これは部屋付きの女官たちにでもあげ
More clues? Just
飲
fucking...
みやすい口ですか。では、
Not giving anything from you to anyone.
He's given them a lot. He's given him a lot of questions to ask, which is something. But why is he playing coy? What's this all for?
お疲れのところ恐縮ですが。
お前は化粧に詳しいか？
Makeup.
はあ、まあ一通りは。
ならば俺に化粧をしてくれないか？
Eh?
はい。
I wonder what for. I need to look something up real quick. He's not who I thought. I thought that Lakan was voiced by the same guy who did Ashgalad. But he's not. He just has a similar vibe about him. But never mind. Sorry. What'd you think of that one?
That was kind of an interesting episode because, yeah, no one was, like, well, I mean, I was going to say no one was poisoned. I guess technically the dad
Poisoned himself
over a long period of exposure. But, yeah, this is it was interesting, a nice little, like, mystery. Like, you know, they had to put the things in the right spot, and then that metal has an incredibly low...
I think that the
melting point.
Well, I think that they showed the sun for only like a second, but
Yeah.
I think that, you know, focused sunbeam at that critical level can, you know, cause fires and melt shit. So
Yeah.
and with the certain amounts, and it seemed like it ignited something in there. It wasn't just the sun melting the metal. It like caught fire to a fuse or some kind of material in there, a little bit of powder, and then that caused all that stuff. But yeah. But yeah, very cool. I think it's an interesting little episode.
Yeah, showing the brothers what their strengths are, and then they figure it out for them. They work together and then figure it out. Although they wouldn't have worked together if someone else didn't come in and like.
It did feel kind of fillerish I'll say that. I don't know if you got that same vibe, but to me it felt like I don't hate it. It was cool, but it something about the problem here lacked the kind of like tangibility, like with the whole setup in this like trap room essentially. Like it felt like a point and click adventure, like a Life is Strange type something like that, you know what I mean? Like it felt more and with the way that the brothers were and how they were, it was like the younger brother, the middle brother, the older brother, is literally like Billy Goat's gruff sort of shit like that. I don't know. And there's been sort of similar things like this before in the show with the when she was out with Gao Shun and that guy like killed his dad or whatever, or his brother, I forget, he was the second son and he was like trying to kill his brother. Whatever, I forget exactly what happens with that. It was only like a couple episodes ago. But similar with that, where it's like this same kind of similar kind of plot line, not the exact same, obviously, but in this one, just something about the texture of it, like with what they were interacting with, how she was solving the mystery, it felt more like it could have been a part of any mystery solving series rather than specifically about her. Because the only thing that really related to her thing as an apothecary was just the fact that she is knowledgeable about different things and that the guy had lead poisoning. Yeah. But being that that's already been something that the series has used, and also that it was kind of a side detail. It feels like that was. I don't even know if this is in the book or whatever, the original source material. I'm not sure, but this feels like something that was a part of the adaptation to reach an episode limit, or kind of cobbled together. But I'm not saying that it's bad. It just feels like it didn't need to be for this show. There's like all the other mysteries and all the other detective things. It always feels like, another show that was like a mystery show couldn't do it like this because it's using knowledge and a time period, like a mixture of like people's ignorance of the time period and also her knowledge that like we can relate to as a modern person who has more insight into stuff like this. That kind of like recipe wasn't exactly present here.
Well, I think that also has to do with like, she wasn't called here because she was an apothecary. She was like sent on this weird side quest by probably her dad, like telling Jinshi to send her specifically that, like, it wasn't like, we need an apothecary to come and solve this thing, or like, this is a weird thing, why don't you go there and check it out because I think that you might be able to help. It was like a weird series of events. But
it wasn't exactly. It was at the beginning, but again, what also leads this to make me feel like it's kind of fillery is her response to hearing the information, because she's not she is normally curious, but this is so far out of her like normal thing. I guess the fire in the storehouse was as well. I'm not trying to shit on it. It's just like there are sort of things about it that feel like it's like it doesn't fit with the rest of the series in some ways, but maybe I'm just crazy and it fully does. I'm willing to accept that too, but that's just how it felt to me. Again, not that it's bad. It just didn't feel like it made use of the same things that the series normally does for whatever reason. But I liked it. Yeah. I thought that was interesting. I even got emotional when it's just so sentimental the way that the young brother's like, but brother Chang and brother Tsu, you do this and you do this and we're brothers and all this stuff. And I like how they showed even before all that part of it. I mean, it's kind of cliche that the younger brother, he's the timid one, but he's also the one who's most connected to their dad's like passions and stuff like that. But it shows like a close up on his hand and he has all these burns on it, sort of telling you without telling you that he is the craftsman of the three. But as far as Lakan here, he's drinking wine and he got that. Did he get that from Jinshi?
This wine?
Or did he bring it to him?
I feel like
he said I'm asking because he.
Oh, he said something about it.
I think he brought it in before when he came in before, but I can't remember. I don't know if it's worth it to go back and check. But it's just interesting, how many people drink wine here? Is like, I feel like we've seen it a couple times, but it's usually, in China, especially back in the day, or in Asia back in the day, wine is mostly a European import. So it's like a very high, not only a high class thing, but it's also, it's not like, you know, rice wine is what they would have, right? And things like that. This is like white or like a slightly yellowish tint to it, or different beers and things. But the fact that this creepy guy is drinking wine is, I think, on purpose, is all I'm kind of trying to say.
Set
about
him
that.
apart a little bit.
Yeah, so he's like the intellectual aspect, this sort of like he has more knowledge than he lets on type thing. Like it's a strange drink choice for, you know, usually they drink out of those little cups and do like a little shooter. Yeah. It's not, and again, I think we've seen it before. I'm just pointing it out that, like, he's drinking wine, you know, even if other people have it. He's doing that. He's not drinking other shit.
Yeah,
It's just kind of interesting.
Like, he's just like, oh, well, you know, go and ask someone who knows more about that kind of thing. It's just like...
Yeah. I wonder, but what's
just
the
like,
point
what's
of...
his game, you
like,
know?
what's... Is he playing coy? Here's my question. Is he playing coy just because the show wants to play coy with, like, this information that he's her dad? You know, is it just to be fun and a mystery, or is he trying to reveal things about himself and about her to Jinshi because there's a, like, it would help, you know, to not get her attached to him, or what? Like, what, like, why would you, like, story things aside, what reason would a person have to do this?
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, I can, that's what it means. Like, I can say, and it's clear to me that the reason is because it's entertaining to us, that it's like, that he's being coy and mysterious, and we get to figure it out as viewers. But that's not that's like a convenience for your story. That's not that's not satisfying when, you know, people are just, like, doing weird shit just because it's fun for the audience who doesn't exist in this world, for them to be weird. For us, like, we don't exist here. So why would he being weird? All we can really go off is what he said in the OP. It seems like, judging by the OP, he's probably not a crazy evil mastermind, you know? He's probably not a total piece of shit. Maybe he's made mistakes in his past, but just judging from the way that he, like, it, you know, he seems to be in that glimpse in the OP, he's like remembering this woman fondly. That woman is probably MAOMAO's mom, who is a prostitute. You know, why wouldn't he want to reveal that? Is it because of his status in the military, but he wants to, like, reveal it to them so that they know, or, but why would he want to do that? Would that really change, you know, if he's...
Would that, like, help him, or does he know that it, like, would be bad for him, but he wants her to know, so he wants MAOMAO to figure it out for herself?
And is this a way of him to, like, be close to her in a way? Like, he's been watching from the sidelines and has seen that she's, like, a mystery solver, kind of tactician person like him. So he's, like, finding a way to connect with her and also give her things to, like, help her grow in, like, a fatherly type way. But he doesn't feel, maybe, he doesn't feel like he deserves to interact with her on that level. So he's doing it in a different way by, like, presenting these mysteries and giving her opportunities for herself to shine. And, you know, aside from that, I don't know if it plays into the whole potential, almost likely at this point, romance between Jinshi and MAOMAO, because, like, if he's like a military person and they find out that MAOMAO is his daughter, does that give her a level of status to where if Jinshi outs himself as the prince or as the following emperor, that, you know, she's a worthy person?
Yeah.
You know, if he's high enough in the military. I don't know if he even is. He's, like, high, but I don't know if he's, like, super high.
Yeah.
He's, you know, so, like, as far as the whole mystery, maybe that's what, or the whole mystery and the whole romance that is clearly going to happen, that MAOMAO obviously hasn't figured out. You know, because that's the point of all this. That's why Jinshi's hot from like an audience perspective, is because they're setting up this reveal where they can finally, like, once she realizes her feelings for him, and they, you know, have gone through all this shit together, then they can, oh, but we can't be together, you're a eunuch. He's like, I'm not a eunuch, I'm actually the fucking prince, and you're gonna be mine. She's like, whoa, or something, you know? Like, so, like, that's the end goal, is something like that. Not exactly that, but something like that. And, so, like, how does this play into that? because she's not going to be able to marry him or be with him on some level if she's just a peasant and lowborn. But this is a mystery of figuring out or exposing that she's actually has some sort of noble or, higher class lineage.
Or is this guy even going, like, I don't know, like, because he's talking about, like, oh, like, this whole thing, like, I can't remember exactly. He said something about, like, oh, like, older brothers, younger brothers, this and that. So is he, like, and he's, said something about, something to do with the metal, and then Jinshi was like, oh, given my position, I would have nothing to do with that. Is it something that maybe royal people would do? So this guy is hinting that he knows that Jinshi is, like, the prince? Or...
When did he say that?
I feel like he said something about that, but maybe...
I didn't pick up on that, but I think I might have missed this. Truly wonderful. It was a simple metal part, but if used on a ritual utensil, it would look fabulous. A ritual utensil.
Yeah.
Should I even Google what that is? Oh. Probably not, because the first thing that came up, then I scrolled away. I didn't read it, but I saw that it was from the Apothecary Diaries subreddit, so I'm not going to look at that. But, yeah, I feel like that's maybe a cultural thing that maybe we don't understand.
But then Jinshi says, oh, why would he bring up a ritual utensil? Thinking, he must know, given my position, ritual utensils don't mean anything.
Oh, yeah,
to
so
me.
he must be exposing that he knows that. And if he knows that and that's all part of this, then yeah, it must be some kind of a way to...
And then see what he said. What did he say? Yeah, elder or younger brother shouldn't matter. Those with talent should receive attention. So, I mean, maybe even if he doesn't know that he's the son, actually secretly the son of the emperor, if he knows that Jinshi, the eunuch guy, is actually the younger brother of the current emperor,
put it all together,
and he wants Jinshi to be the emperor instead of the current emperor, and if he knows that, like, it depends, like, how elaborate he's getting with it. If he knows that MAOMAO is his daughter, and he wants his daughter to be with the emperor, then if Jinshi was the emperor, then he would be elevated to a greater position, being the father of the...
I don't think that... Yeah, I think I'm with you every part of it, except for the end where it's about his position. I don't think that he gives a fuck. Like, as far as this plan, I don't think that... Just because the story-wise, I don't think that it's... he cares... Like, I don't think beyond... If he's putting all this effort to, like, match make them, or, like, put Jinshi in a position because... I don't see the end goal, like, resonantly as a story. I don't see that being like, oh, and it was all so that he could get promoted in his job. It's like, I feel like it'll, like, maybe, but I think that it's probably going, again, it's all part of a reveal that he's not the shitbag that we think he is based on that first conversation.
Yeah.
So, like,
I'm
with you with everything else.
Yeah.
With that.
I mean, it could also be that he is a bit of a shitbag. But if he gets to know his daughter, then he'll, like, reevaluate a little bit.
Here's the thing, is that the fucking previous emperor was, like, a pedophile.
Yeah.
And if Lakan was, like, a higher level, military officer, and we don't know his background, if he's, like, maybe he's, like, he has noble birth, like, and he's not just a military officer who, like, climbed the ranks because he's smart, he also, like, because, bloodlines matter in these types of, scenarios, so, like, maybe like the emperor really did get an eye for his daughter, and then he's like, I don't want that. So he sends her away. I don't know. Maybe there's something to do with that, and the doctor, like, took her away. But yes, and about the whole, like, plotting thing about, like, Jinshi being the next emperor and stuff, and not the emperor's son. It goes back to the couple times that Jinshi or Gaoshun have mentioned, like, oh, I thought she was just a pawn to you. I thought she was just, talking as if it's a game, or like there's strategy or something. It makes me wonder if Jinshi really is doing his best to, like, assume that position rather than just, because we also just had that conversation where he's with the emperor and he was like, oh, you're tending to my garden, whatever. And he's just like, oh, my looks are the only thing that's good about me. I can't be a good swordsman. I can't be a good tactician. I can't be a this or that. The only thing that is good about me is the thing I can't control. I don't know. I think, it depends. I don't know. We still don't know if he actually is playing the Game of Thrones, so to speak, if he is trying to, like, set things up for himself to be the next emperor, if that's something that he wants, or if it's something that he's considering or is kind of working towards, but his heart's not fully in it because he doesn't believe in himself. Maybe being with MAOMAO would change something like that. I don't know. But Lakan has probably put it all together over his years and knows more than we do. And maybe, wants them to be together just because of them, but we don't know enough about him to really say that. All I can really be sure about, well, not even fully sure. The only thing that I really think about is that I don't think it would be interesting as a story for him to be introduced as a total asshole shitbag and all this mystery around him, and then for us to peel back the rind on him only to find actual shit underneath, and it's like, okay, well, we just uncovered all this mystery of this dude's personality, and he was exactly what we thought he was originally. Like, that's just not fun from a story perspective, unless he does something really fucked up and terrible, and I just don't think he will. So, yeah. That's our thoughts on this episode. Leave a like, subscribe, I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.